I pray, oh Lord, and face another day. Oh, Lord, give me strength to face another day. Carry on life's road, carry on my load. Give me strength, oh God, to carry on. Oh, my Lord. So, this is going to be, let's just say, Spaceman 2.0. I'm going to try to bring you the latest info and what's underneath that meaning to what you see and perceive in the newscasting and the radio forecasting. So, this is my first, and it's not going to be perfect, but I'm going to try to give you a tribute to Spaceman, who left this plane about a year and a half ago. I found out about it on June 5th, 2018. And I cannot for sure say it in the way Spaceman has, but I will do my due diligence to at least. I wrote down the first 15 minutes of one of his shows, and it's a great way to remember him by, because he did have the truth, and the truth shall set you and us free. So I'm just going to try to narrate what I wrote down of what he said once in the past. April 6th, 2013. This whole thing with the Illuminati and the shadow government, it may be unreal to a lot of people still, but if you can hang around with me a little bit, if you give me a chance, most of us can agree upon that something is very wrong with this planet. Civil wars, diseases, famines, ethnic cleansing, the religious wars, different violations of human rights. The list is long and it just goes on and on. Are all those bad conditions totally separated to each other, or did they have a common source? All I ask from you tonight is to think for yourself. Throw away everything you have been told, things you learned in school, even what you've heard on the radio, what you've seen on television, what politicians have told you. For a moment, let's start thinking for ourselves for just a while. It's not too often we have that opportunity. Of course, we're constantly fed with propaganda, news which is actually propaganda, opinions, lies, and there's tons of untold secrets. There is an overkill on information. Life's hectic. We all have to earn a living, afraid to be laid off from work. We're survival threatened on a daily basis. And the direction in which a lot of thinking goes in these days. So just what is it that causes so much fear and uncertainty in our lives? Is it really this threatening? Or is somebody creating this condition on purpose? You know, most of the fear and the terror is spread through what I'm on right now, radio, the media, which is owned by just a few people at the very top of the society. And these people have their very own agenda. We are living we are living someone else's dream. Someone else has dreamt the way they'd like to have the world, and we're heading towards that goal. of theirs, and we're all living their dream. The Illuminati, or the Moriah conquering wind, as they prefer to call themselves these days, is a very secretive group of occult practitioners who have been around their families for thousands of years. It's not a boys' club or a group of adult parents trying to get some excitement in life. This is something much bigger than that. This is a very well structured organization consisting of people in extremely high places. These people are the super wealthy who stand above the law. Many of them don't even appear on the list of the wealthiest people in the world. So they're not there. That's the secret. This radio show has a certain purpose. First, I will try to brief you on the current scene, especially the political one on the world today. When this is done, I'll try to explain what is really happening, not the false information you get when you follow the news on television or newspapers. Then on, I'll try to comment on important things that you're fed up with through different media and explain or debate them. And have this based on the facts I'm going to give you soon. But to understand it all, you have to be briefed on the scene of this planet. The version you were never meant to get. The truth certain people don't want you to know. The word Illuminati means people claiming to be unusually enlightened with respect to a subject. The Illuminati means any of various groups claiming special religious enlightenment. Now these people are the top players on the international playground. Basically belonging to 13 of the wealthiest families in the world, and they are the men that rule the world from behind the scenes. Yes, they are mostly men, with a few exceptions. They are the black nobility, the decision makers who make up the rules, the presidents who make the rules for governments to follow, and they're often held from public scrutiny because their actions can't stand being scrutinized. Their bloodlines go back thousands and thousands of years, and they're very careful with keeping these bloodlines pure from generation to generation. The only way to do that is by interbreeding. Their power lies in the occult and in the economies of the countries they control. Money creates power. The Illuminati own all the international banks, all of the oil businesses, the most powerful businesses of industry and trade. They infiltrate politics and their own most governments, or they own most governments, or at the least control them. An example of this is the election for the presidency. It is no secret that the candidate that gets the most sponsorship in the form of money wins the election, as this gives the power to uncreate the opposed candidate, and the one with the most royal blood in their vein is always chosen. And who sponsors the right candidate? The Illuminati do. They sponsor both sides to have a game going. They decide who will be the next president, and they see to it that their man wins, even if they have to cheat. Most presidential campaigns are financed with the drug money, which is understandable if you know. The Illuminati run the drug trade as well. Elections are really not necessary, but they let you and I vote so we can have a game. And by letting us, they pretend to follow the Constitution of the particular country. But it's in the United States. The president really isn't running the game. Not at all. The power does not lie with the politicians, but with the Illuminati, whose top members are mostly international bankers. The leading candidates for presidency are carefully chosen from occult bloodlines of the 13th Illuminati families. And if we research all the presidents of the United States from the beginning up to now, you will see almost all of them are of the same royal bloodline. And they are all family related by ancestry and family trees. Royalty is equivalent to the Illuminati. This is the same situation in all of the other countries. Haven't you noticed it's always the children of the past leaders that take the place of these people once they leave and they ascend to the pinnacle of power in that country again? So that you'll have just a couple of families. Like, for instance, the Clintons and the Bushes ran America for over 40 years with a couple of terms each by Bill Clinton and George Herbert Walker Bush, and then another one by George W. Bush. When you can have a country for that long, you can do a lot of things. That is a lot of time. Now, as Spaceman always says as he goes off to commercial, it's a view from space. This is Talk Radio AM 640. I'm a spaceman. I'm just getting started. I'm the guy they call space. It's a view from space. Talk Radio AM 640. You can email me. I have 2 locations. Blah, blah, blah. You comment on email. So just what are the goals of the Illuminati? Well, it's to create a one world government and a new world order, economically, politically, even religiously, with them on top, of course, to rule this new coming global empire. Your place and my place, slaves, because this is a corporate fascism that we're leading to. They will change to fascism and then a dictatorship when it is all said and done. But first, we have to play some games, go through some changes before we will accept this idea to create a one world government. And of course, that is to make you very afraid in every area of your life, no matter where you go. Example, even picking up your kids at kindergarten. Now, these are just a few words of the Spaceman, and I will be bringing you much more in the near future of the truth, and the truth shall set you free.